want you to imagine for a moment that the entire universe is conspiring in your favor, that every delay, every redirection, every moment of uncertainty is not an obstacle, but a blessing cloaked in disguise. Imagine that there is not a single atom, not a single breath you take, not a single step you walk that isn't being orchestrated for your highest good. Imagine that behind the curtain of appearances, behind what your senses report to you, everything is working out perfectly for you, even if it doesn't look like it. I am here to tell you that this is not mere fantasy. This is law. This is the truth that governs your entire life, whether you recognize it or not. What you assume to be true, what you believe with conviction, becomes the life you live. You see, we are told, according to your faith, be it unto you. And faith is nothing but persistence in the assumption that something unseen is real. When you act as if everything always works out for you, you align with that law. You place yourself in harmony with the pattern of fulfillment. You walk, speak, and think from the end where the desired outcome has already happened. You do not ask how. You do not look for signs. You do not beg the universe. You simply dwell in the feeling of certainty, in the knowing that your reality bends to your assumption. There was once a woman who came to me, broken, defeated by life's apparent injustices. She said to me, "Neville, I have done everything. I have prayed, affirmed, visualized, but my life remains the same. What am I doing wrong?" And I said to her, "You are doing all these things from the standpoint of someone who lacks, who does not have, who hopes it will work out, but fears it may not. You must reverse it. You must act as if it has already worked out. You must feel the relief now. Live from the end." She began to take my words to heart. She stopped asking for change and began assuming the change had already occurred. She walked into rooms with a quiet confidence. She no longer waited for signs to believe. She believed first. And then the signs followed. The job came. The relationship improved. Her health transformed. But more than any of that, her inner world shifted. She lived in peace, in certainty, in power. You see, to act as if everything always works out for you is not arrogance. It is not delusion. It is the recognition of your divine inheritance. You are not some accidental product of chance. You are imagination itself. And imagination creates reality. Your world is your mirror. It reflects what you persistently assume to be true. What do you believe when things don't go your way? Do you spiral into fear? Do you assume failure? Or do you remember that appearances are only shadows cast by your inner light? I tell you, everything can change in an instant if you will. But assume it already has. You must feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You must enter the state of the solution, not the problem. I have said before, and I will say it again, man is all imagination, and God is within you as your own wonderful human imagination. When you imagine that everything is working out for you, and you feel it deeply, you are speaking the language of God. You are commanding the world to take shape in your favor, and it must obey. It must. Do not be swayed by the evidence of your senses. Your senses show you what has been, not what must be. The moment you accept a new idea and clothe it in feeling, you have planted the seed. Whether or not you see immediate results is irrelevant. The seed is growing, and if you persist in the assumption that everything always works out for you, that seed becomes a tree, and that tree bears fruit. It is easy to believe when everything looks favorable, but the true power is found when you believe in spite of appearances. When the world says no, but your inner world says yes. When the bank account is low, but you walk as one who is already abundant. When the relationship seems lost, but you live from the state where love is already restored. How does one live like this, you ask? You begin with imagination. You close your eyes and see not with the eyes of flesh, but with the eyes of spirit. You imagine what it would feel like if you knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that everything was working out. You let that feeling saturate your being, and you carry it with you into the waking world. That feeling is the prayer. That feeling is the key, for feeling is the secret. Think of a time when something seemed to go wrong, but later you realized it was the best thing that could have happened. Think of the jobs you didn't get, the people who left you, the delays that frustrated you. All of them, in hindsight, were not mistakes. They were stepping stones. They were divine redirections. What if you could trust that in every moment? What if you could live from that trust now? The truth is, you already are the person who has everything working out. You already exist in that state. All states exist. Creation is finished. Your task is not to make something happen, but to select the state you desire and dwell in it. You move from one state to another by assumption, by conviction, by persistence. Every time you say to yourself, "It's always working out for me," you are reaffirming your place in that state. You are shifting your identity. You are becoming the one who lives in alignment with divine favor. And the world, being a faithful mirror, must show you what you assume. Let me remind you that it is not effort that brings about change. It is not struggle. It is not hours of laborious prayer. It is simply the acceptance of the end. If you can accept the end as real, now then the means will unfold naturally. Life will rearrange itself to reflect your inner world. I once knew a man who lived in constant fear of things going wrong. Every small inconvenience became a sign of doom for him. And surely life obeyed. His car broke down, his health suffered, his relationships crumbled. I told him, "My dear friend, you are not unlucky. You are simply faithful to the wrong assumption. Change it." He began to test this truth. He began to say, "Everything is always working out for me," not with hope, but with certainty. And though at first nothing seemed different, he did not waver. And then miracles began to appear. Unexpected checks arrived. Opportunities opened. He smiled more. He slept better. He had become someone new, not by doing more, but by assuming more wisely. You must decide right now that you are done entertaining doubt. You must become faithful to your vision, not your fear. Faithful to your future, not your past. The world you see is the outpicturing of your assumption. You do not change the reflection by scratching the mirror. You change the reflection by changing yourself. I am telling you, act as if everything always works out for you. And by act, I do not mean to pretend. I mean to live from the truth of it. Think from it. Feel from it. Let it be your inner atmosphere. And as within, so without. The law is never broken. The law is always working. It is your servant, waiting for your instruction. What would you do if you knew that success was guaranteed? What risks would you take? What steps would you stop delaying? What words would you say? What love would you give? What dreams would you pursue? Act from that version of yourself. For that version is not a fantasy. It is you, clothed in courage and trust. You are not here to merely react to life. You are here to create it. You are here to mold it with your inner conversation. Listen to what you are telling yourself when no one is watching. Are you affirming the outcome you desire, or the one you fear? Change the conversation. Begin to speak only that which you want to see realized. I am always supported. I am guided. I am favored. Life loves me. Things always work out for me. You will find yourself walking differently, talking differently. People will notice your energy. They won't be able to name it, but they will feel it, because you are living from the end. You are living from the kingdom within. The power is not outside of you. It never was. It is in your ability to assume the best and persist in that assumption. No matter what the outer world says, you stand firm in your inner knowing. That is true power. That is mastery. I urge you to test this. Not tomorrow, but now.